Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK. Back at you with another video here to rate on the 3-game NBA main slate on Thursday. Before I get into the video, if you guys are new to the channel, my name's DK. I make daily videos and live stream for NBA and NFL slates on Draftkings, and I'm now making videos as well for NBA Top Shot, which are basically virtual trading cards. If you guys are interested in that, I do have a couple videos up explaining kind of what it is and explaining a couple recent investments I made as well. If you guys are unable to watch these YouTube videos, I also up on Apple Podcasts. I'll link in the description below. It's called the DKDFS Show. If you guys are interested in signing up for premium content, I'll offer that on patreon.com. A couple different packages, an esports package as well as an NBA package, also linked down below. And then I want to thank Prize Picks for sponsoring this show. If you guys are not familiar with Prize Picks, or maybe this is your first time watching, the idea of Prize Picks is you're taking over/under on fantasy points. So, for example, we have LeBron James projected for 54 fantasy points tomorrow. Do you like the under, do you like the over? Honestly, I think the stars, just looking at them, all look a little bit too low. Like Giannis at 56, Harden at 52, LeBron at 54. Those all look pretty low to me. But yeah, you guys can mix and match sports. They have college, PGA, esports. So if you guys want to sign up, you use the code DKDFS. DKDFS, all one word. Link down below. You get 100% match up to $100. So you put $100 in, you get $200 to play with. And finally, I just want to thank you guys again for all your support. I really, really do appreciate it. If you do enjoy this content, if you hit the like button on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you don't upload videos you don't go live. Let's aim for 200 likes on this video. So with that out of the way, let's jump into it. Before we talk about, or actually I do want to mention that this will be the last YouTube video for myself for a few days. Going on vacation for my birthday to Cancun. So I'll be gone, leaving tomorrow morning, and I'll be gone until I come back Monday. So I will have videos up again for NBA starting Tuesday, videos and live streams. Don't worry, Patreon members, I will still be uploading content for Patreon. But I just wanted to mention that, guys. No videos, no live streams for me for Thursday, or no live stream Thursday. And then videos and live stream, no Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. So, all right. But yeah, before we get into this this 3-game slate, let's look back at my lineup here from Tuesday. So Tuesday looking like a pretty solid night for me. Nothing crazy, but right now cashing pretty easily in this tournament. So going over my lineup, DeLon Wright, Seth Curry, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Robert Williams, Ja Morant, Isaiah Roby, and Zion Williamson. Here, I'll get out of the way so you guys can see. So, let's see, that Portland, okay, that game did not go to overtime. Okay, I thought maybe there's a chance I might get OT for Zion Williamson. But, so, the Philadelphia 76ers was waiting on that starting line moves. Once we got news that Seth Curry was starting at point guard, talked about this, I liked him for value. So, he originally got injured right away, and I was like, oh boy, another tilting night, here we go. But he came back, had a really nice day. DeLon Wright was, subpar. I expected a little bit more for him. Now, Jeremy Grant just went off, and he had, I forget what his stat line is, but I think he had 30 plus real life points and no other it was really weird. Jeremy Grant did nothing besides score the ball. So he kind of deferred to Jeremy Grant. Still was okay, but again, I expected a little bit more for DeLon Wright. I used both Boston guys, that being Jason Tatum and that being Jaylen Brown. Now, again, once we got news that Kemba was out and Jaylen Brown was starting the point guard, I like both. Brown got into some foul trouble. So he wasn't amazing. Jason Tatum was the guy you really wanted, one for 55. Robert Williams for value. That was basically just to open up for me to allow me to get these other 7 to 8K guys in my lineup. You guys knew I was really high on Ja Morant. He had a nice game, triple-double, 51 fantasy points. That was nice. Isaiah Roby, who fouled out early in the fourth quarter, I feel like he had 30 fantasy points. Could have had more. And then Zion Williamson for 53 fantasy points. So, yeah, that is it for the look back, guys. Hope you guys had a great night, and let's see if we can keep it rolling for this 3-game slate. So we have one of the 3 games out right now, Heat and Kings. It's a 223.5 over under. The Heat are only 1.5 point favorites. I feel like the Heat should be favored by more, but I don't know. That's just me. All right, so let's start off with Toronto and Milwaukee. And the big news, obviously, is Kyle Lowry. And this really does change the slate. He is currently questionable. If he misses, Really like Van Fleet, really like Siakam. Both, when Lowry went down at about, I think it was about halftime, both had really good games. 53 for Van Fleet and 51 for Pascal Siakam. So that would become two of the best plays in the mid-range, that being Siakam and Van Fleet, if Kyle Lowry is out. And then you would have to consider some other guys. So Norman Powell would probably play 30-plus minutes. I think he is definitely viable. My issue with Norman Powell is at times can be relying on the scoring, and kind of out of 4 games he didn't shoot the ball, or just didn't shoot the ball a ton. But he would certainly be in play with no Kyle Lowry. Chris Boucher, just because there's one less body in the rotation, played 30 minutes. If there's no Lowry, like, I would feel a little bit better that he does play more minutes. We know Boucher is just a matter of, will the minutes be there? It's never really like his production. It's just a matter of, will he play the minutes, right? 18 minutes 2 games ago, 30 minutes last game. So if the minutes are there, Chris Boucher is a really good tournament play. OG in his first game back played about 27 minutes. I expect those minutes to go up a bit. Definitely someone that is solid there in the mid-range. Value-wise, I'm not super interested in Aaron Baines at 3-4. I mean, he'll probably play 15 to 20 minutes. I don't think it's the worst value. And then, guys like Bembry, Stanley Johnson. If there's no Kyle Lowry, yeah, we can consider these guys. Am I going to feel good about either? Not really. But, like, they're basically close to mid price. We'll see how they do the starting lineup if Kyle Lowry is out. But, yeah, those guys, like, I guess would be fringe viable if Kyle Lowry is out. Now, if Kyle Lowry is in, the pricing still looks pretty good on these Toronto guys. I think Lowry would probably be my favorite still. But the concern, he was on pace for a massive game last game. 39 fantasy points in 22 minutes. Just so unfortunate if you played him the last slate, but obviously there's some risk. But like, as long as he can stay out there, I think the price looks the best on Lowry. So we'll really just have to keep an eye on that. And if Lowry does play, then that, hurts obviously Powell, hurts, probably takes Powell out of play, hurts OG Anunoby, just probably downgrade to Boucher just because there'd be one, more body in the rotation that, chance he plays less minutes. So that's one of my thoughts there with Toronto. Moving on to the Milwaukee side, Giannis and Middleton. So Middleton sat back and did absolutely nothing while Giannis went off last game, 10.9K. Last 3 games, Giannis has really started to turn on here. 70, 74, 72, and even a 65 in there as his lowest score in 4 games. I think Giannis is one of the safest plays of the slate. The issue I have is there's also a lot of other good spin-ups. We have LeBron James against Brooklyn, who plays no defense with no Anthony Davis. We have Harden, who looks pretty decent. We have Kyrie. We have the 2 Miami guys in a smash spot. Again, then with the Toronto guys. So you are going to have to make some tough calls. But Giannis, if you can get to him, I really do like. Middleton, the ownership will be really low. This is nothing more than an ownership play if you play him. You're kind of buying low and hoping he gets back to form, right? He's been a little up and down. He started the year off really strong, but then's kind of been, last 3 games, 26, 33, 21 fantasy points. So I would say he's more of a contrarian play. Now, I'm not saying he can't have an upside game, but not someone I'm prioritizing. DiVincenzo at 5-4, just kind of a filler option. We'll probably play about 30 minutes. I think it's just fine. Now, Bobby Portis is someone I think we could take a shot on here. Minutes have been a little bit better for him the last couple games, 28 and then 24, both in close games. He's a good point per minute guy. I could see taking a shot on Bobby Portis here at that price point. Brook Lopez at 4-7 with Portis playing more. He is actually, the minutes went down on him, so not super interested in Brolo. I think I'd rather take the shot on Portis, who's just a better point for a guy, and hope the minutes are there. Value-wise, if I had to take a shot on someone, it would be Connaughton. He went off last game, 20 real-life points, 3 blocks and a steal. But sure enough, I play him for 4 fantasy points for Pat Connaughton. He would be the guy that, if I had to pick, would be him. He's played for value. 29, 23, and 31 minutes the last 3 games. So if I had to pick a Milwaukee value, it would be Connaughton. Moving on to Brooklyn and the Lakers. So James Harden, Kyrie, both look like good options. Harden has more upside, higher floor because of the assists, right? He's going to be the point guard here. 16, 14, 11 assists last 3 games. I do like Harden a good amount at that price. I think Kyrie at 8.9, the price point looks good. Obviously, I would rather get to James Harden, but Kyrie is definitely viable as well. The top 2 guys look good. No Kevin Durant. As far as value goes, I really don't want to do it on this slate. Joe Harris, Jeff Green, DeAndre Jordan are just don't really love any of them. Bruce Brown is priced about right. He'll play about 20 to 25 minutes. Now, TLC is questionable. Not really huge news, but if he is out, might be a few more minutes for fringe guys like Shamet, maybe TLC. Roberson, you could take a shot on him and hope he plays, right? They signed him. They might need him maybe for his defense to guard LeBron. We'll see. So, you could take a shot at him at mid price if you want to. Obviously, it's a risk. Guys like Shamet and Tyler Johnson, I think you could do worse for value. I'm expecting probably low 20s minutes for Shamet in a close game and probably around 20 minutes for Tyler Johnson. So these guys are both playable. Again, am I going to feel good about either? No. And then moving on to the LA Lakers, LeBron James at the top obviously looks like a really, really good option. Love the matchup here. No Anthony Davis, safe with upside. Mid-range guys, Kuzma, Harrell, and Schroeder. Kuzma did only play 26 minutes at last game, which is not great to see. So obviously there's some risk with his minutes. Harrell got limited last game, but that was because they played a bigger team in Minnesota with Karl Anthony Towns. Brooklyn likes going small ball with Jeff Green at the 5, so I could see Montrez playing, 25, maybe even 30 minutes here. So I could definitely take a shot at Montrez Harrell. Schroeder's probably the safest just because for the minutes, right? He's a guy that's consistently getting about 30 minutes, 30 to 32 minutes a game. So if we're going for like the safest of those guys, it probably is Schroeder. Marc Gasol played a lot because of Karl Anthony Towns, but don't expect him to play a ton here. THT at 3.9 barely played, unfortunate. Again, I do love him, but he is just not getting minutes. And then we have 4 value guys that, again, are playable, but do I feel good about any of them? Not really. We have Caruso, KCP, Markieff Morris, and Wesley Matthews. So KCP and Wesley Matthews are basically the same player. They're 3-and-D guys. KCP played 31 minutes last game. I'm expecting somewhere 20-ish, mid-20-ish maybe. Wes Matthews played 22 the last game. Again, they literally have to hit their shots. So they're both really cheap. You can take a shot at one of them and hope they hit their threes. Markieff Morris is a guy I'm expecting probably around 15 to 20 minutes for him. I think he is a guy that is viable for sure. Again, I like the matchup. And then finally we have Alex Caruso, who should play about 20 minutes. He's a guy that can get those peripheral stats with the assists, block, steals. So really all 4 of those guys are in play. Probably I would say the riskiest are KCP and Wes Matthews just because they are so reliant on the scoring. And then finally, Miami and Sacramento. So on the Miami side, the main 4 guys all look pretty good here. And Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, and Kendrick Nunn. I like all 4 a good amount. I love targeting players against this Kings team that play no defense. So Jimmy should play 35-plus minutes, and he's got the triple-double upside. Love the matchup. Bam Adebayo should feast against the Sacramento front court against like Bagley and Whiteside. So really do like both of the Miami guys. I think Hero in the mid-range off the bench will probably play 30-ish, 35-ish minutes. Again, I think he's viable. And Kendrick Nunn was in foul trouble last game, but he's on pace for some good minutes tonight. I'm expecting over 30 for him. So I think we'll get 30 to 35 minutes from Kendrick Nunn of him running the point guard. Definitely viable as well at 5.3K. So all the main guys I do like. Olynyk, the minutes have been down on him. Recently, I'm curious to see how many. Hold on, let's see how many minutes he's on pace for tonight. I'm just curious. Miami Heat. Let's see. So he's played 19 minutes so far. Okay, so looks like he's going to go back to his normal rotation of like close to 30 minutes. So you can take a shot at him for tournaments. If he plays closer to the 30-minute mark, there's a decent chance he gets there. And then, Duncan Robinson has hit his threes. He'll play probably around 30 minutes. Viable value play for sure. And then Iguodala at the flat min price will play about 20 minutes, a low usage guy, but it is in play because of the matchup. Finally, Sacramento. So a couple pieces of injury news to talk about. Harrison Barnes and Rashawn Holmes. So let's start at the top. De'Aaron Fox, I think, is a good contrarian play. Probably not an optimal play with the other stars we have in the slate, but the ownership will be low. We've seen some big games from Fox. Again, more of a contrarian play, though. Buddy Hield, don't love either. Halliburton, I'm curious to see what they do with the starting lineup. I would guess they probably throw a guy like Glenn Robinson or Daquan Jeffries in there. Not really interested in either because they're super, super low usage, but they could start Halliburton and go a little bit small. If they do start Halliburton, would have a little bit more interest. But really, the main 3 guys for Sacramento none are really standout plays for me. Where I'm really looking to are the bigs. With no Rashawn Holmes, it's Bagley, it's Whiteside. We get our revenge game narrative for Son Whiteside. Last game, they started Bagley as the small ball 5, but Whiteside still played over 20 minutes. Again, we got revenge game. This is a bigger Miami team, so we'll see what they do with the starting line. If Whiteside starts, I have a lot more confidence in him. If he comes out the bench, there's a little bit more risk, but like we said, he is a good point-burning guy. He's not going to go for 58 and 24 minutes, but he is, I would guess that he probably gets at least 15 minutes off the bench, maybe more. And then Bagley at 4.8, if he starts at the 4, wouldn't like him as much. If he starts at the small ball 5, I actually think he's a pretty good play. I would guess we probably get mid to high 20s minutes for him. So really both the Sacramento bigs I like, dependent on who starts. And then off the bench, then Corey Joseph is a guy that probably will play, low to mid 20s minutes. He's played a little bit more because of blowouts here. I think a viable cheap option. And then again, I'm guessing it's going to be Glenn Robinson or Daquan Jeffries that start. Bjelica barely played the last game, so it's hard to feel really confident in him. But that's really it for the team-by-team breakdown, guys. I think that's going to do it for the video as well. So if you have been enjoying the content so far, I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you know when I upload videos live. Again, unfortunately, won't be doing a YouTube live stream. I will be back for videos and live streams starting next Tuesday, guys. So, yeah, thanks again, guys. Have a great night, and I'll see you guys all later.